When Macy's closes its downtown Cincinnati store, it will leave an empty shell on one of the city's most visible corners. Joe Webb joins us live with what could replace it. Joe.
Well, Paula, you and I have been around Cincinnati long enough to remember the last time Fountain Square West had an empty department store in that location. Now, the mayor says the city's vibrancy will very quickly fill the gap, but history's not on his side. For much of the 80s and the early 90s, the sign at 5th and Vine on the old Elder-Beerman store said, "Coming soon." Developers came, and soon they were gone. There was no shortage of ideas.
I have a vivid memory of a presentation of a really weird-looking tall building was going to solve the problem, and a developer from out of town, an architect who was very creative, of course, but they couldn't get their financing together, so that didn't happen.
Helmut Jahn skyscraper didn't fly, neither did the Crystal Forest, a multi-story conservatory that would have turned Fountain Square West into a tropical indoor garden. After a decade of fits and starts, in 1991, the city demolished the half block and put in a surface parking lot. It anchored 5th and Race and Vine until the 3-story store that sits there today was built. It opened in 1997. But it was built to support a 22-story, 440,000 square feet tower. And one of the building's owners says now's the time to build it out.
As far as we're concerned, it's still part of the project, but whether it's a tower of offices or it's a combination of offices and hotel and market rate apartments remains to be seen. So it's my expectation that we would at least build to the maximum density allowed there, which would be the 22 stories.
But we've seen plans for a tall building there before. Our board says anything can happen, but a 22-story tower at 5th and Vine is likely in the future.
10 years from now, 85%, 90%.
Now, Town Properties is just one of the 4 owners of Fountain Place, so they've got to get together with the other people before they make any decisions. Plus, Fifth Third Bank owns the air rights or development rights above the space, above that existing 3 floors that's there now. Board says he expects to have a proposal to Fifth Third Bank in the next 90 days and a preliminary plan for a 22-story building before the end of the year. He says the existing 3 stories that are now the Macy store could be converted to some office, another restaurant, and maybe some entertainment space, movie screens, or even a theater. A lot of talk. We'll have to see what happens. Reporting live on Fountain Square, I'm Joe Webb, Local 12 News. Paula?
It makes me sad and also excited to possibly have some new opportunities there. Those windows behind you, it's beautiful. I could see everything you talked about, or residential. We just hope it's something. When do you think we'll know?
Well, who knows? I mean, he says he's going to have a plan to Fifth Third about who own the rights above the building in the next 90 days, and a plan for that taller building before the end of the year. It's hard to say. And, developers often tell us, well, by the end of the year we'll have this, we'll have that. Who knows? This is obviously going to take some time, and Bort says he doesn't want to do anything quickly. He doesn't want to put anything mediocre in here. He wants to put something that will last. And as we now know, department stores in cities the size of Cincinnati just don't last downtown anymore.
Well, not with online shopping especially. All right, thank you, Joe. It's so pretty there, though. Because of Macy's departure, Tiffany and Company also has the right to get out of its lease. The building's owners plan to meet with Tiffany in the next few days and work to keep it there at the corner of 5th and Vine.